Have you ever found something that didn't belong to you but felt like a secret you were meant to discover? I'm Rose, and you are watching English Through Situations.
And I'm Jack. Today, we are opening a very old book to uncover a mystery from decades ago.
Welcome to another episode of our English Through Mystery Stories series. Today's story is called A Letter from the Past.
It is a story about memories, lost time, and a very strange message left between the pages of a used book. And of course, while we follow the clues, we will learn some fantastic English phrases for storytelling and describing confusing situations.
You know, Jack, in a world full of text messages and instant emails, finding a physical handwritten letter feels almost like magic, especially when you don't know who wrote it.
Exactly. A handwritten letter has a completely different feeling. It holds emotions, and sometimes it holds secrets. So, let's get into today's situation.
Are you ready? Let's set the scene.
Our story begins on a quiet Sunday afternoon in a small, dusty second-hand bookstore. The kind of shop that smells like old paper and coffee.
A young man named Leo is browsing the shelves. He isn't looking for anything specific. He just likes the feeling of old books.
He reaches for a thick, dark green book on the bottom shelf. The title is faded, but he can just read the words, The Quiet Sea.
Leo opens the book to check the price. But as he flips through the pages, something falls out and flutters to the wooden floor.
It is an envelope. It's yellow with age, and there is no name written on the outside. It is completely blank.
Leo picks it up. It feels surprisingly heavy. He looks around the store, but he is the only customer, so naturally he opens it.
Inside, there is a single piece of paper, folded twice. The handwriting is elegant but hurried, written in dark blue ink.
Leo starts to read. The letter says, "I waited at the central station for 3 hours. You never came. I don't know if you misunderstood my message or if you simply changed your mind."
The letter continues. I am leaving the city tomorrow, but if you ever find this, if you ever realize what happened, meet me at the Willow Bridge on the 1st of September at 4 p.m. I will wait every year.
Wow. I will wait every year. That is a heavy promise.
And here is the strangest part, Rose. The letter is dated August 20th, 1998.
1998? That was over 20 years ago.
Exactly. And when Leo looks at his phone to check today's date, his heart skips a beat.
Let me guess. What date is it?
It is August 30th.
Oh my goodness. The 1st of September is exactly 2 days away.
Yes, Leo is holding a 20-year-old promise, and the deadline is in 48 hours.
Okay, if I were Leo, my brain would be exploding with questions. First of all, who left the letter in the book? Did the person who bought the book write it, or were they supposed to receive it?
That is the first big mystery. In English, when we try to understand a confusing situation by looking at different pieces of information, we use the phrase to piece together. Leo is trying to piece together this puzzle.
Let's piece it together right now. The writer says, "I don't know if you misunderstood my message." A misunderstanding is a classic communication problem.
Right. Maybe the writer said Central Station, but the other person went to the North Station. Or maybe they got the time wrong.
In the days before cell phones, a misunderstanding like that could ruin everything. You couldn't just send a text saying, "Hey, where are you?"
Exactly. If you missed a connection in 1998, you really missed it. We call this a missed connection, when two people try to meet or communicate but fail, usually because of bad timing or a mistake.
But what about the book itself? Why was the letter inside the quiet sea?
Let's think about the possibilities. Option A. The person who received the letter put it in the book to keep it safe, but then accidentally donated the book to the store years later.
That is possible. People forget what they leave inside books all the time. But what if there is an option B?
What is your option B?
What if the letter was never sent? What if the person wrote it, put it inside the book to give to the other person, but never had the courage to give it to them?
That changes the whole story. If the letter was never sent, then the other person has no idea about the Willow Bridge. They don't know someone is waiting for them every September 1st.
This is why it is so fascinating. And poor Leo is just a guy trying to buy a book on a Sunday. Now he is holding the weight of someone else's history.
So, what does Leo do? He buys the book. He takes the letter home, and he cannot stop thinking about it.
I wouldn't be able to stop thinking about it either. It's like an unfinished sentence. You just have to know how it ends.
The phrase we use for that feeling is needing closure. Closure is the feeling of resolution or finality when a difficult or confusing situation comes to an end. Leo feels like this story needs closure.
Yes. Without closure, it just stays an open question forever. So, Jack, what happens next? Does Leo go to the bridge?
What do you think? Of course he goes to the bridge.
I knew it. You cannot have a clue like that and just stay home watching TV.
Exactly. Fast forward 2 days. It is September 1st. The weather is a bit cloudy with a cool autumn breeze. Leo arrives at the Willow Bridge at 3:45 p.m.
He is 15 minutes early. Good job, Leo.
The bridge is old, made of stone, crossing a small, quiet river in the middle of a park. It is a very romantic but slightly lonely spot.
Is anyone there?
Leo stands near the edge of the bridge, watching the water. People are walking by. A man walking a dog, 2 students riding bicycles. But nobody stops. Nobody is waiting.
Oh no. Don't tell me he went there for nothing.
At 4 p.m. exactly, an older woman walks onto the bridge. She is wearing a long beige coat and holding a small umbrella. She walks slowly to the middle of the bridge, stops, and looks out at the water.
Is it her? The writer of the letter?
Leo thinks the exact same thing. But he is nervous. He doesn't want to jump to conclusions.
To jump to conclusions is a great phrase. It means to guess the facts or make a decision too quickly without having enough evidence.
Right. Just because she is standing on the bridge at 4 p.m. doesn't automatically mean she wrote the letter from 1998. She might just be enjoying the view.
So how does he find out? He can't just walk up and say, "Excuse me, did you write a tragic letter 20 years ago?" That would be so weird.
No, he doesn't say that. But Leo is smart. He remembers the book. He brought the quiet sea with him.
Ah, the book is the key.
Exactly. Leo walks over, stands a few feet away from the woman, and pretends to read the book. He holds it up slightly so the dark green cover is visible.
And? Does she see it?
A minute goes by. The woman turns her head. She glances at Leo, then looks away. Then she looks back. Her eyes lock onto the book in his hands.
Oh, my heart is beating fast. What does she do?
She takes a step closer. Her voice is very quiet, almost shaking when she speaks. She says, "Excuse me, Where did you get that book?
Wow. So the book definitely means something to her.
Leo closes the book. He says, I bought it at a second-hand store a few days ago, but I think there is something inside that belongs to you.
And he shows her the letter?
He slowly takes the yellow envelope out of his pocket and holds it out to her.
How does she react? Is she happy? Is she sad?
She looks at the envelope, and a very strange expression crosses her face. It is not exactly sadness, and it is not exactly joy. It looks more like shock. She takes the letter, looks at the faded blue ink, and then she looks up at Leo.
And what does she say?
She says, I haven't seen this handwriting in 25 years. But I didn't write this letter.
Wait, what? She didn't write it. Then who did?
And more importantly, she adds, I was the one who was supposed to receive it.
Wait a minute. If she was the one who was supposed to receive it, that means the person who wrote the letter has been waiting for her.
Exactly. The woman takes a deep breath and looks at the handwriting again. She tells Leo that the letter was written by a man named Thomas.
Thomas. Okay, who is Thomas?
Back in 1998, they were engaged to be married. They were very much in love, but they were also very young and proud.
Oh, I can see where this is going. Young and proud usually means terrible communication.
You are completely right. They had a massive argument one evening in August. The woman, her name is Clara, was furious. She told Thomas she never wanted to speak to him again.
We have all said things we don't mean when we are angry. But why didn't he just call her?
He tried, but Clara refused to answer his calls. So Thomas decided to write a letter. He poured his heart out, asking her to meet him at the central station if she wanted to give their relationship another chance.
But if she never read the letter, how did it end up in a second-hand bookstore 20 years later?
This is the crazy part. Thomas knew that Clara loved reading. Her favorite book in the world was a thick, dark green novel called The Quiet Sea. She kept it on her bedside table.
Oh no, don't tell me he put the letter inside the book.
He did. He slipped into her apartment while she was out, placed the letter inside the pages of The Quiet Sea, and left. He thought it was a romantic gesture. He thought she would open her favorite book before bed, find the letter, and rush to the station the next day.
Jack, that is not romantic. That is just terrible planning. What if she decided to read a different book? What if she just wanted to go to sleep?
Well, that is exactly what happened. Clara was too upset to read. The next day, she packed her bags and left the city to stay with her sister for a month. She never opened the book. She never saw the letter.
And Thomas went to the central station, waited for 3 hours, and thought she had abandoned him.
Yes, he assumed her silence was her final answer. This is a perfect example of a phrase we use a lot in English: to leave something to chance.
Yes, to leave something to chance. It means you don't take control of a situation. You just let luck decide what happens. Thomas left his entire future to chance by hiding the letter in a book instead of handing it to her.
And chance was not on his side. Years passed. Clara moved on, eventually got married to someone else, and lived a full life. A few weeks ago, she was clearing out her attic and donated a box of old books to the local secondhand store.
Including The Quiet Sea.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the bridge. Clara looks at Leo and smiles. It's a sad smile, but a peaceful one.
What does she say to him?
She says, "For 25 years, I thought Thomas just gave up on me. I thought he didn't care enough to apologize. Now I know. He was waiting.
Wow. So even though she is married now and her life is completely different, this letter still gave her something incredibly valuable.
Yes, it gave her the truth. And Leo, the random guy who just wanted to buy a book on a Sunday, became the person who delivered it.
What a story. It really shows how important clear communication is. If you have something important to say, do not hide it in a book. Just say it directly.
I completely agree. And with that, let's move into the language part of our episode. Today, we covered some fantastic phrases that you can use to talk about mysteries, relationships, and communication.
Welcome to the language focus section. Today, we have 6 very useful English phrases from our story. Are you ready, Jack?
I am ready. Let's start with the first one.
Phrase number 1, to piece together.
To piece together means to understand a story or a situation by collecting different facts and clues, like putting together a puzzle.
For example, the detective tried to piece together what happened that night.
Repeat after us. To piece together.
Phrase number 2, a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding happens when two people do not understand a situation in the same way, often causing a problem.
For example, we had a misunderstanding about the meeting time. I thought it was at 2 p.m., but she thought it was at 3 p.m.
Repeat after us. A misunderstanding.
Phrase number 3, a missed connection.
A missed connection is when two people try to communicate or meet, but they fail because of bad timing or a mistake.
For example, because her phone died, they had a missed connection at the airport.
Repeat after us. A missed connection.
Phrase number 4, to need closure.
Closure is the feeling of finality or resolution after a difficult situation. To need closure means you need answers to finally move on.
For example, she read the old emails because she needed closure after the breakup.
Repeat after us. To need closure.
Phrase number 5, to jump to conclusions.
This means to make a decision or guess the facts too quickly without having enough information.
For example, don't jump to conclusions. Let's wait until we hear his side of the story.
Repeat after us. To jump to conclusions.
And our final phrase, number 6, to leave something to chance.
To leave something to chance means you do not plan or take control. You just let luck decide the result.
For example, this project is too important. We cannot leave anything to chance.
Repeat after us. To leave something to chance.
All right, now we want to hear from you. It is time for our viewer question.
Today's story was all about a letter that was lost for over 2 decades. Leo made a big decision to take the letter to the bridge.
So here is our question for you. What would you do if you found a 20-year-old letter hidden inside a used book?
Would you try to find the person like Leo did? Or would you just throw it away because it is none of your business?
Write your answer in the comments below using English. You can start your sentence like this. If I found the letter, I would...
We love reading your comments, and it is a great way for you to practice expressing your opinions naturally.
Well, that is all for today's episode. We followed a forgotten letter, met 2 strangers on a bridge, and learned how not to communicate in a relationship.
We also practiced some excellent vocabulary, like jumping to conclusions and needing closure. Remember, learning English is not just about memorizing words. It is about understanding the human situations behind those words.
If you enjoyed this mystery and learned something new, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and share it with a friend who is also learning English.
It really helps us create more stories for you.
You've been watching English Through Situations.
Real English, real situations, better conversations.
I'm Rose.
And I'm Jack. See you in the next episode.